right. Well, go on, everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. It is Thursday, May the 29th. We are live at the New York stock market morning session. Glad that everybody can join us. Hope everybody's doing well. All right, so we had some red news you were saying, George?
Yeah, we have GDP, wages, number of things. The dollar is back under parity.
Okay. Let's just take a look at the calendar quickly here. So today is the 29th. We had U.S. preliminary GDP and unemployment claims. Okay, so made a dent, did they?
Yep.
Unemployment claims are higher than expected. So that might have put a dent in things. And at 10 o'clock, we have pending home sales coming up.
Yep. And that could have an effect. I think the unemployment is higher because of a lot of changes in companies due to the change. Actually, a lot of AI is being used, which has cut down on some employment, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there was, all right, so we'll see how, if the pending home sales has any effect on the markets at 10. And then that's about it for red news today. All right, I'll take a quick look at Euro versus the US dollar. Euro USD versus the US dollar. We have US dollar at the top, a very weak US dollar. We had quite the drop, a very strong push on the Euro US dollar. So weak US dollar, just like you said, it is below parity at 99.5 approximately. All right, so a weak US dollar, that should give us a little buoyancy in the indices, you would think. So Peter was saying that he got stuck in a fourth wave with Tesla yesterday. And certainly that was the case. You can see we were in this huge fourth wave. From 9:30 yesterday, yeah, just got chopped up. So yeah, it's very, very difficult when you're stuck in a fourth wave to know that you are. And this was where he was in this mess here. And
it was a good learning experience. Like I said before, if I'd waited to the end of the trading session, I would have grabbed a $3,000 trade at close to the close. We had a legitimate 1, 2, 3 top that drove it down nicely to the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see
that would have been a perfect trade, but I wasn't. I wasn't awake enough or aware enough to realize what was happening. But anyway.
Yeah, it's a tough one to see that one coming. We get that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move. So this was basically what transpired yesterday when we were looking at it. I was calling for us to go up to about the 1.618 area. We got up into about 1.272. That was about the high here, and then from then on, you're stuck in the fourth wave, just chopping chopping up. So it's very difficult to realize that you are in a fourth wave like that, in a chop like that, because expectations are, it's going to continue or it's going to drop down or whatever your expectation is, and it just moves sideways on you. So yeah, so at the end here, what they're doing, it's all in hindsight now, but they're got equal highs. They're taking everybody out on that move, and it's 5 waves up. You take everybody out, make a beautiful 1, 2, 3 that you're talking about,
and then 5 waves down,
and then drop it down 5 waves. Yeah. So that's the way it goes, and again, very, very difficult. So we would expect this morning, perhaps, because we've gone all the way down, back down to this level, that we should be probably getting a bounce. More than likely getting a bounce this morning.
Yeah, I expect it to go up. I expect it to go up this morning.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at the NAS here. And okay, so I'm going to do what I did yesterday. Let's start from the daily. We're still aiming for those highs. So you can see we didn't even do anything at all, really. We tried valiantly, but did not get up there. So on the daily here, let's make this a little bigger so that everybody can see. I do see a gap up here. So I'm going to bring this across, and we are in the gap. We came into the gap. Very cool. Okay, so that is very interesting right there in itself. So we looked like we went right to the midpoint of that gap. So it is a possibility that we do not go through and go up to the highs. So we have to be watchful of that on the 4-hour. And it looks like we are going to go through, actually, just based on the 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour time frame, we have a huge 1, 2, 3 here.
Yeah.
And then a move up, retrace. So it looks like we're going to make an assault to take out those highs. So that's what I would be expecting here. So on the 1-hour, I noticed last night that we came back into this gap here after traveling sideways for the most of the afternoon, and as Peter was pointing out with Tesla, so this is just around the close of the markets. We came way down back into that gap. Now we're moving out. So that's on the hourly. So we have bullish engulfing on the hourly right now. You can see we have a bullish engulfing candle. So it's portending prices that will go up and take out this high up here. It's based on the bullish engulfing candle. So we came back into a gap here. So I'm going to mark that up on the hourly. Let me lock this so that it doesn't move. Okay, so down we go down to the 30. We've come back down. So again, this is what they've done from the low. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So they've swept everybody out, just like what we looked at on Tesla. And 1, 2, 3 up here, or the whole thing here. So we could drop first before we go. We can see that possibility here, right?
What time frame is that, Lennox?
This is a 30-minute.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it looks like a possibility that we could drop first, take out the lows before we go. We got 5 more minutes. Let's see what it looks like on the 15. Okay, so there we go. So on the 15, we had a sweep of the highs. We get the drop down, back in, get this drop, get this move up, looking for them to take out these lows. So for those on YouTube who are watching us, we appreciate you dropping in to stay with us for the morning session. We are the 1, 2, 3 traders. We're looking for 1, 2, 3 tops or bottoms. In this case here, market, we've got a 1, 2, 3 top. Is the lowest point here would be our number 2, whichever one is lower. I think it looks like a tie. And here's our number 3 point, the highest point going back up. So we're looking for a retrace between points number 1 and point number 2, back to number 3, and usually the most probable retrace area is between 50 to 62%, and so that's what we're looking for. And we look for an entry at this point to take this trade to the downside, where we go looking to go to the 1.61 Fibonacci extension, 1.618 Fibonacci extension is our target. It's just an area, not really a point per se, because there are 1.414, 1.272, 2.0, and so forth. So this is the most probable target. So again, we're using probabilities to trade, and that's why we use those numbers. So we got 3 minutes to go before the market opens. We'll keep going down. Good afternoon, Martin. Thank you for joining us.
Sorry to disturb in the middle of the take.
No problem. No problem. So on the 5-minute time frame, we can see if we're looking to take this low out, then we are looking for a sweep of the highs more than likely, and just the equal highs. We get a little bit of a sweep, so we could see a move down to take out these lows. And then on the 1-minute time frame, we are in, you can clearly see now that we are basically in a fourth wave. So I'll be looking to sell this. So since we have swept already, this could be the turnaround opportunity to come back down. So I'm going to put in we've got gaps in here.
Armin says he's looking to join in. I don't know why.
He should be able to just hit his meet now, but
I would think so.
Right, let me see if I can find him here. Okay. All right. So the only okay, we got less than a minute to go now. The only problem with taking a trade right now to go short is that they could spike it up to take you out. So I will give it a shot here. I sell it because we're right in the sweet spot area of our 1, 2, 3. We've got a 1, 2, 3 top. And I'm looking for them to come down. So this is our 1, 2, 3. We're right in the 50 to 62% retrace. I'll put the retracement tool on. We'll see where we are. I believe it's this way. Right at it this the opposite way. Let me take that away. There's our drop right away from at the open. So I'm gonna take if I can do this quick enough, I can get a quick partial out of this. Beautiful. So that's the play right off the open. So I did this the wrong way. Should have gone this way. There's our low. There's that beautiful move out from our 1, 2, 3 top, looking for target at the lows. Okay, why did that not take? There's my target. So I'm going to make my target a little lower than that. Go to a couple grand. Bring my stop in to positive here, so there's no loss on this trade. And down we go. Where is my? Oh, I'm too high up for my target. I need to go lower still. I can go down a little lower because there's my low over here to the left.
We're almost to a logical low. It'll probably hit it in a couple. Just hit it now.
I'm out now. So that was the trade. So I'm done for the day. That's beautiful. So that's based on top down. Look at that. We're still going down. So where are we going to? So I didn't even get a chance to really check where we're really going to.
Yeah, so I didn't even get in. I've been playing around with so many darn things this morning.
Okay, so let me go back to the 1 minute here, and I'm going to see where 1.6, let's see where 1.618 takes us. So I'm going to remove this. So yeah, we're still going down. So 1.618 of this move would have taken me out at this level here. So that's a reasonable target, but this was a really good target here, and we're still going lower. We're going down to 3.618 right now. So that's such a lovely move here. So we thought that Tesla would pop, Peter, and what did it do? It popped, right? Yeah. As expected. So interesting, even though Tesla is popping, the NAS is dropping. You would think that would be the opposite. Oh, okay, how about we remind me tomorrow? Okay, so I'm going to go up to the 15-minute. I want to take a look at this now. So you can see we have a huge 1-2 gap here on that was there. So there's another gap below, and we come into that. We're just actually just wicking.
We can be dropping 50 handles easily.
Okay, so there's another gap below that bigger gap, and we've just touched into that. So if I look at it, so what we want to see here now is let's see, we want a 1, 2, 3 bottom. However, since we have a 1, 2, 3 top and we drop, we could expect that we might get another drop to take out the low one more time. So let's see if that occurs, and gives us a 1, 2, 3 down here to come back up. That would be the expectation. Let's see how the S&P did. And the S&P is the exact same. So both really nice plays, whichever one you wanted to choose. You could have played the S&P, same thing. So just based off our 1, 2, 3, that was enough to give us that that play. And we realized that we were in a fourth wave. It swept out the highs, and would give us a 1, 2, 3. So that's the move. So it's almost identical to the NASDAQ, where they sweep out the previous highs. They create a 1, 2, 3 top, and we look for entry in the 50 to 62% area, and drop it down. You can take your profits down below this previous low. So at this point now, again, I'd be looking for a one more drop to take out the lows again, and then looking for a 1, 2, 3 bottom to come back up. So let's see if we can if that will play out. go back to the NAS. So at this point on the NAS now, one of them might be weaker or stronger than the other. So we could get divergence here. The NAS might not break the low and move us back up, and the S&P might break the low and then give us a 1, 2, 3. So we can watch for that divergence at that point. So let's see if that occurs. All right, so here I'm on the 1 minute time frame for both, so I can watch carefully here now to see if we get one of the other movements here. The interim, I'm just going to take a quick look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I'm going to go to the daily on the Bitcoin, just give us a top down. We're a little bit sideways here on Bitcoin right now. Kind of a triangle in essence, right? Let me draw that again. We've got a low here. And then a kind of a diagonal triangle like that.
A wedge.
A wedge, yeah. So but we're in an otherwise upward mode. So 4 hour. You can see we're in a very choppy area. So we got this high, we come down, we're chopping. So we're looking like we want to pop back up to the high again. So we're in something like this, right? So looking like we want to come back up again in the short term. So hourly did not take the lows over here on the hourly. So it's looking like a possibility that we could come down first, similar to what the NAS just did. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 top here. We've dropped. So it looks like we could take out these lows first before we continue back up. That would sweep these lows over here as well. So that looks like a probable trajectory. Although here we could go up again one more time before we do that. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay, so on the 30-minute, we're in a very choppy area. So looking to come back down first. 15-minute, very choppy, looking to come back down. So you have to be very careful there in Bitcoin to make a move. Got a 1, 2, 3 top. We're heading straight down. So no play. The play would have been right here, just now. That would have been a good play a few minutes ago, right there. So that's a 1, 2, 3 right there. We had a 1, 2, 3 at first, and then we get a second one. So this would have been a nice entry either here or here to catch the move. So right now we're in the middle of that move, so not much to play. All right, so I'll keep my eye on Bitcoin, see if it's something. Okay, so back to the NAS. All right, so we just like we expected here, we take out the low. So let's see if S&P did the same thing. And we have not. So S&P is stronger than the NAS. So we're getting divergence as we speak, right? So will it hold? I'm seeing double here. My eyes are all fogged up from just waking up. So we've got divergence. So I'm going to watch them both on the same screen here. So since we have divergence, I like the NAS because the NAS is doing what I'm expecting it to do. It's giving me my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move. So we are always looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves, whether we're going up or down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. And now at this point here, we're looking for a new 1, 2, 3 to take us back up. So I'm liking NAS because NAS has given me my structure, whereas S&P has not broken this low yet. So we would expect S&P to break that low, but sometimes we get divergence, which is a little ploy to fake everybody out. So I like the NASDAQ because it's doing what I'm expecting to do. So I want to see if we can jump back in here on a 1, 2, 3 to go back up. I'm going to go back to the big chart here and look at the 15-minute to see where we are. We're still in, now we're inside the next gap. So this gap is no longer in force. It is locked. Unlock it and get rid of it. I'm taking it out because we've passed through it, although we haven't closed below it yet. But this gap now is the one that's in play. We're right in the middle of the gap. Well, so we could be looking for a turnaround imminently here now. So my exit, I did not have to exit so early on that play. I could have stayed in for quite a move down. So that was yeah, things are going a bit fast there, so I just took the exit. But usually I can plan it out. I can move my stop down to protect profits and continue all the way down with the move. But it's all good. So they're going even further down below the gap. This was the midpoint of the gap, and they're still going down. Wow, so we're at the edge of the gap now. So we could be turning around any moment now. S&P did take the low out, so there is no divergence anymore. Okay, so divergence is gone. So they're both doing the same thing, but the S&P is a little stronger still because it's only taking out the low by a little bit, whereas the NASDAQ.
I see potential for another 40 handles down.
Wow, that would be quite another drop here. I don't know, George. I think we might be very close to the bottom here, but you could be correct. We do have another gap below this.
I'm looking at a 15-minute chart, and that's at a point where it was range bound on the 15-minute chart, and that's the low point. But yeah, I mean, you could be right because we've had a tremendous down so far.
Okay, we've touched into the lowest gap at this point, so we could be at the bottom now. Okay, look where we're getting a turn now. S&P is much stronger because it just made a little tick through, and we're turning around very rapidly here. So we could be done here. And it's a tempting play back to the upside, because remember when we looked at this on the hourly or the 15 or so forth, our expectation is that we're going up to take out the highs. So this move back down is just a blip to push us back to the upside. So let's see if that holds out. So I'm looking for a turnaround here. So I can be a little bit more patient here at this point and wait for a proper 1, 2, 3 to form, and then take advantage of that. So do we go one more time to take the lows, or are we done at this point? I'm going to watch them both to see what they do here. Okay, so S&P is going lower, so we are taking the lows. So you might be correct there, George. We're coming down to the midpoint of the final gap. So
yeah,
that's quite a drop we've just had. That's amazing. That is astounding.
Yeah, it's within 25 pip handles of it now. Yeah, I shouldn't have been playing around with my other stuff. It was a perfect setup.
Yeah, it's a nice move. I mean, on that play, I made almost $4,000. You know, on that little move. Easily. And that was, and I got out early. So all right. So it looks like this gap is going to hold. It's very difficult to see the structure on this last fifth wave leg here. So we've got our structure overall very, very pronounced, but on this leg here, it's very difficult to see the structure. But in here we would have a 1, 2, and a 3,
we're
4.
Almost there.
5. So I think we're almost done.
Yeah.
The S&P is a little trickier, a double 1, 2. So we could still go a little lower on the S&P.
As a point of reference, we're below my 1 standard deviation of my 120 linear regression channel. We're
I'm liking this for a turnaround, so I'm going to buy it now. We're right on the bottom of the last gap. So let's see if we can get a bounce back to the upside here. Nope, just still going down a little bit further. Wow. Okay, so they're putting me in a little bit of drawdown here. Let's just see.
yeah. Well, I'm looking for.
So your 50,
12,
your
12,
40,
11
your 40
more,
handles is
11
working
more
out.
handles. 10.
Yeah. So we're coming.
9.
Oh, it's interesting that they're coming down so far. You should be turning around right about now. So we've got a low here, which I didn't think they would be looking to take out. Very close right there.
They got very close to my point.
I'm gonna buy some more at this point. Looking for them to push back up here. See how Tesla is doing. So Tesla is just sideways. So not much going on with Tesla at the moment.
Oh, I think there's a 1, 2, 3 bottom there. I'm expecting it to go up.
You know, we're getting a turn on the NAS now, almost a turn. But they might be going to take out that low. Wow, they're taking out that low. Okay, so I'm in a little bit of drawdown here. So I've got in a little tad early, perhaps.
Oh, wow.
So they took that low. Didn't expect them to take that low, but it's there.
Yeah,
So they
it took it out.
Yeah, I thought we'd turn around in that, but we're right at an order block and a low, so they've taken the low with a wick, so that might be it now. So I'm going in without just on a fractal basis.
If that's not it, I have to go down another 11.
We've got a fractal formation where we have a low with 2 higher lows decided, so that makes for a nice entry. If we can break above the mid candle, that would be a good sign that we're heading back to the upside here. Let's see if we get that. They came and tied the low. Well, they're still going down a little bit further. Wow. Okay. So they're really putting me into drawdown here now. I'm still believing we're going to turn around, so I'm going to hang in there with it. Going to panic out. But
Okay, we just hit my next target, and if it goes below this one, boy, we have to really go down then.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that we're going this low, but they are. So let me bring this gap down to this.
The next one is 45 handles down.
No, we don't want to do that.
I know.
Okay, I've got another fractal, so I'm gonna buy some more. Okay, so I'm suffered a little bit of drawdown there, but I'm again still expecting them to push back to the upside here. So I got out way early on the move down. Could have had a nice train ride down to this level.
Yeah,
But it was moving
I'm
too
showing that
fast.
it's a powerful down move.
All right, we're getting a turnaround now. Let's see if we can get a nice push back up.
I'd be careful of adding on any more at this point.
Looking good now. We should go back up here. I'm back into positive now. And so I'd like to see them take out this high. And got some nice profits here, so I'm going to take a little something off right away.
It's yeah, because it's trying to move into positive territory, but it hasn't really done it yet. So
Yeah, taking a little partial. I want to see them go through this high here. That will give us a change of character to actually.
yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, so I see what you're doing.
There we go. That's a nice move. And now looking for continuations. Can we go up higher and take out the next high? That would be even better. But they might give us a pullback at this point here.
We're kind of at a critical juncture now.
So I jumped in a little early, thinking that maybe we might have been done. But all right, so they've taken out the highs. We're getting a little bit of a pullback.
Yeah.
And should continue. So I've got a gap here. This should buoy us up.
It still could be good at this point. It's just trying to make a decision if it needs any more. Volume dropped down.
This is another nice move. If I can get up a little higher here. Take another partial. I don't mind taking partials off. I can always add to my position as price goes higher. So let's see if we can get back. I'm looking to go above the next high.
It looks
okay, I'll
like
take another
they're
partial
doing
there.
some more sells, which could push it up a little bit, but then it seems as though there's more sells coming in, so people are taking stuff off, I would say, wanting to take stuff off. I can't tell whether they do it or not.
Okay,
Whoa,
nice
a
move.
lot of
Nice
cells
move
coming
going.
in, so we should. It's moving at very fast pace right now. So as far as I would be saying, you have to have your maximum stop level set if you're using them. They're trying to stay in a positive position at this point, but it's there's not enough orders to push it either way right now.
a slow climb. S&P is a little stronger. S&P's got a beautiful structure here. You can see our this is a structure we look for, this kind of move.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So at this point here, we were looking for a 1, 2, 3 bottom to take us up. It hasn't really done it the way we're expecting, a big pullback. They just gone straight up, a very tiny pullback, and then we go. So we called
right now we're only about 38%. It looks like eyeballing the current down move.
We call this move the slingshot because it's a slingshot where you pull your strings back and then you release, and you get that your stone flying through the air, as it were.
Yeah. I mean, technically, we could have initiated an algo trade at this point, but I don't think it really is one. Okay, here we come. We had some more.
Well, we're at the macro time. We're 9:50 macro is kicked in. We're getting quite the pullback here now into the gap.
Yeah, well, it's we're moving back to negative territory, so we have to see whether it's going to break this. If it breaks this low, it's got a lot more down to go.
I'm going to take my stop off because it's a bit tight. I had my stop in there, but it's a tad tight. They didn't hit it, but it's very tight. So I took it off just to mitigate them hitting me, but they didn't hit me actually, so I was okay. I'm going to move it, just give it a little bit more breathing room below the low of the mid candle. I've had it below the body of the candle, and they came very close to hitting me. So give it a little bit more room there. All right, let's see if we can continue bouncing out. So at this point, I could add to my position because we're right in the sweet spot now of our 1, 2, 3. So this is a perfect place to take an additional add to my position. But I take a risk because they could spike it down and take me out below that low. So I'm looking for a fractal entry. So hopefully that's enough for them here, and we'll just push back to the upside. But they could take this low one more time. So what I'm referring to here is look at where my stop is, but just below the mid candle that created the gap, just below the mid candle. I had it at the body, and they almost got me, but they didn't. So if I can get a fractal right here, and yeah, they made another low. So they did take out that low, very close to taking me out. I'm not going to move my stop now. So if they take me out, they take me out. But just below that candle, I should be relatively safe, but technically you're supposed to be below the low of the candle that created the gap, technically speaking, but you can hide it here. That's what I've done. So let's see if that holds for me and I stay alive. If I can get a proper move above this high, I can add to my position at this point. So I'm going to look to do that. And they do. So I'm going to jump in with some more contracts here. See if we can continue pushing out. So now I'm looking for them to take out the high.
If you're on the NAS, I wouldn't jump on more contracts yet because it's in that questionable situation. Where is it going to go? If it closes below the prior low, we got more down coming. And right now it's just slightly skewed to the downside.
Okay, so again, we have a clean 1, 2, 3. I stayed alive at this below the low here with my stop. They could still spike it down, take me out, but I'm looking for them to move up to take out the highs. So that's my risk at this point. This low here.
They haven't made a good decision yet based on my signals.
No, they're not moving out quickly, so they
That's
could
for sure.
they could spike it back down to take me out because they can.
Yeah.
There's lots of stops below these lows, so I could be in jeopardy. And I was taken out. Okay, so nice try on my part, but stop's a bit too tight in there. So technically, again, my stop should be at the low.
Oh,
so
they have a big move going down now, so it could pop up a bit, but then end up going down.
see how S&P
Well, a
is
lot of
doing.
people are getting down in it. Wow, because I had, like 68 at one particular price point, and it didn't even move the handle.
S&P is a little stronger than the NAS at this point. Not by a terrible amount, but just a little bit more buoyant, it looks like. So I wouldn't expect them to take the low. So I'm looking for another fractal for an entry here. So I'm going to try again to get out of here. We're kind of in this stuck area. We're kind of accumulating in here and looking for them to go higher. We got another fractal, so I'm taking advantage of the fractal to move out again. So let's see if we get out. We can make that loss back.
Right now, it looks like they're still confused as to what direction they want to go in. And they haven't taken out this low yet, but they're more on the side of trying to take out the low than going up. But I could not be sure at all. There's a lot of indecision going on right now. Okay, we're getting some more sells coming in at this point, so that could raise it a bit. And let's
some more buys, you mean?
Showing more buying power.
Yeah, we're getting a nice move now. So let's see if that continues up and we can take out the high.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a breach of this high here.
They're still not sure what they want to do.
Well, this gap didn't really hold. I've got a gap here, inverted.
They're still. It's hard reading these things because it's flying by so darn quickly. It looks like we may be headed south again.
Yeah, it looked like they might want to go back down and take the low, which is a little bit disconcerting. But I hope they're not going to do that. That should be enough for them.
Had more buys coming in, but that wasn't enough to pull it up.
So if I'm going to be taken out, my stop would be down below the low here. And that's my risk. And it looks like they might want to take me out again. That's not good if they do that. We don't want to break this low. We want to continue going up.
That appears to be the objective that I'm seeing in here. And the problem is that we could go range bound for a while, like we did yesterday. And
yeah, they've been very, very slow moving out of here.
First of all, I can say that there has not been an algo at the 10 o'clock move.
Not
That's
yet.
for sure.
Not yet. So we swept the lows. It looked like they want to take the low one more time, which is not good.
Big ones. Oh, we're big, trying to pull up, so it should be going down.
I am dead again in the water. Wow.
We just broke it.
So I'm very surprised that they would take the low one more time here. Let's just see why they did that.
Let me see where the heck they're going to.
That's not good. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So essentially they're telling us that my count was incorrect. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, thinking I'm done, but they said no. This is just a fourth
Yeah,
wave. We're just
we have
fooling
about
you.
30 handles to go.
Yeah, this is not good. So that was a nice little fake out on their part to entice everybody to go long.
Yeah.
Entice everybody to go long like me, and I got caught, and they're dropping it one more time. So they're really
10
messing up the structure
handles.
from the higher time frame, because
Wow.
at this
They're
level,
really moving this thing.
would not have expected them to come down into this area that deeply. So I thought this would have sufficed at this point here to turn us around and continue back up, but they're going much lower.
They're almost at the next level.
Yeah, so that's a.
And if
I
they
just
don't
gave back
turn
all my
around at
profits.
this level, the next one is really down far. Let me see what the heck it is.
Not liking this move at all, but that's the way it is.
The next one is down. No, it's only. Oh yeah, it's down over 120 handles below this. Okay, it hit the next one, so it should be at a point of turning around now, I would think, because the next one down is 120 handles below this.
It's still going down. Wow.
Oh boy, still going down. Yep, I can see it here.
So that was a bad decision on my part to jump in so early, thinking that we could be at the bottom, getting a nice 1, 2, 3 to take us out. And once they start to cycle sideways here, it's not good sign. So we wanted them to just leave, take out the high, but they're not doing that. So breaking the low tells us that our structure is like this. And so we're still on the way down. So we're in the midpoint of the last gap back down. And we do have a one, but the problem is we do have a 1, 2, 3 here. So we could go down quite a ways here still. So you have to take a good look at the overall structure to see what the possible. It looks like they're aiming to take the low, which is really disconcerting that they would go all the way back down here to take the low. But it looks like a possibility. I would not have thought they would do that because we had a 1, 2 here. So this move, if we retrace, we don't usually come back into this area. And so they've come into the area, and it's just nullified the whole structure, because our structure would typically leave from this area here. So that's why I was jumping in at this point to go back up. But they're going even lower. So are they heading really to take this low out, or are they just going in, digging deep to grab as many orders as they can to take off back up? I think that's what they're doing. I don't think they're going to take this low.
You know, to tell you the truth, that next low point is 90 handles below.
Yeah, I can't see them going way down here, really. We're in an overall uptrend on the chart, so it'd be a pretty negative move for them to take this low out.
There's a heck of a lot of volume sitting here, so
anything's possible.
Hard to judge. And with all the buying coming in, it looks like people are thinking we're at a bottom, so it's going down further.
I want to see where 50% takes us here. Yeah, it looks like they could take that low, because 50% is below the low. So 50% of this entire move takes us back into this order block here. So that is a possibility for them to come down below this low, which is unbelievable. But we are seeing it occurring. So No buying going on as yet. It's a possibility, like I say, but it's not a high probability because we are in a very strong move to the upside overall. We're just getting a pullback. So they don't have to take this low, but it is a possibility that they could take that low. There's the 50% mark, which is below this next gap down into another 1-2 at that point. So we do have a 1-2 here that took us up in our structure. So now this retrace could certainly take out this low. There's a lot of buyers here.
Could that be a 5 at the peak there at the top? And now we're on a 1, 2, 3 down.
When you say could it be a 5?
Well,
you're from
looking
this
at the bottom 1, 2, and
yeah, we have a 1-2 here.
To the 5 and like that.
Yeah, that's certainly a 5-wave move. So this retrace could take us down.
1, 2, 3 down, or that. I guess that down could be an algo move. What chart are you on?
This is the 1-hour NAS.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, certainly this could, our algo is moving to the downside rather than we're expecting it to move to the upside, and it's going down. So it looks like they're gunning for this low here.
They're very much aligned to going down. I mean, every buy I have coming in is sending this thing down.
S&P is the same. So yeah, I'm just surprised that they've come back into this area, but not terribly surprised now that I look at it from the hourly standpoint, that that this low is in jeopardy of being taken out. So quite interesting.
Yeah, when I say I find a buy, that means that the buy side has very high numbers in it, and when they buy, it tends to pull it down because they've got to grab onto volume that is willing to sell at that point. So it's what I'm looking at is kind of a contrary view, but for the most part, it seems that it makes sense to what I'm seeing, but it might be confusing to anyone else.
Let's see how I've done here. I had
and right now, there's no inclination to going up, even though we're attempting to tread water. And we got more buying coming in, so that means it should go down some more. There's more buying. Well, it's almost even, Steven. It's hard. It's going sideways.
I'm watching Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin might give us a move back to the upside here. Bitcoin is doing a similar type of move in that we came down from the high down to a low point. So I need to find out where this low. So you can see with Bitcoin, we came back down to this wick or tail, as you want to call it. Came back down to that point. So we're right in the midpoint of that tail. So we could be turning around on Bitcoin. But we're in a very choppy affair, as we pointed out earlier. So I'd be looking for another move. We're kind of in a situation like where we're like that inside of a channel. So I'd be looking for another move back up on Bitcoin to possibly take out these highs. So if we can get it right up, that might be a nice play.
Okay, we've got some good sells now, which means that we're trying to go higher, and it's working hard to get positive, but it's going to be a struggle.
This gap is holding.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, I see what you mean. It is holding. That's a nice gap that's holding. The bottom of the gap is at the bottom of my bodies. It's still really a struggle to make a positive move. Continually trying to get into the positive side, but there's oh, there comes more buying coming in, which pushes thing down. Now there's some selling.
So are we at the bottom? We had a sweep. Let me just make this bigger. We had a sweep here. And another sweep here. We've got a gap. But this could be a turn. We do have equal lows though. So we could get taken out on that play. So this would be I'm gonna take a stab at this as being the low. I'm just gonna say that we're not gonna go any lower than this, but I could be taking a risk here at this point.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm looking at it going down.
Yeah, they look like they're going through that gap already. So the equal lows might be in jeopardy. Got double sweep, sweep of the lows, sweep of the high. Retracing back quite a bit though. It's a tough one because we got equal lows. They can take that out. Let me just see what S&P is doing at the same point. And S&P swept as well. Swept here. We've got a gap. We've gone through the gap. Might hold. But S&P looks like they want to take these lows out because at this point here, we still don't have a, yeah, they're going to take that low out. So it's not a good play yet. See that S&P still has another drop. So where are they going to on S&P? Let's see on the 30 here. So yeah, they're same kind of thing, looking perhaps to take that low right out. We are in an order block area.
They may not take the low out, but
they may not.
If they can get enough people coming in here, there's a lot of small orders. But there looks like they're going to take it out now.
We're in an order block here. So.
They're pushing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say whether they're going to take the low or not. So it's a tough one.
They just took it then. No, yep.
Still
more buys
down.
Coming in, so it's going down.
Yep, still going down. So it looks likely that they're going to take that low at this point. So one of the disconcerting things is that this entire move here, from this high to this low, could be our 1, 2, 3. And that would not be good.
Wow.
Right? That would not be good. That means we'll be going way down.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, so that's a possibility. So really, the whole time I should have just stayed in my original trade and not gotten out. But I was not expecting them to come to take out this low. So my expectation was that we'd come back into this area here and get a bounce back up. So yeah, you have to be able to flow with the market and be able to change your mind. And sometimes it's very difficult, but this is one of those times. So again, we've got a sweep of the lows.
Yeah, we got more
So
bias.
I would need to see them sweep the highs
Well, they're back to,
to give us a 1, 2, 3 to go back up. So still looking for a turnaround. I don't want to be selling now at this point in the game because we're so far down. So
yeah.
it would have been okay
I mean,
to
if
sell
it
from
drops
here.
further, it's got to drop 70 handles. There's game playing going on right now.
Oh yeah. So again, we have a sweep. So we always have to be watchful of sweeps. Get a sweep here. So are we done? Maybe, maybe not. I've got a 1, 2 here, so we could fall through again, take out the lows. So how far am I from that last gap? Okay, not very far. So this is the last
Yeah.
mark off the low point here. So this is the
They're
low.
trying to turn it around now, but there's just not enough volume coming in to give them that edge.
Tempting buy, but it's a tough one because we're so close to that low.
At this point, I would wait for something more than a fractal to get in because it's just too hard to see. This could be like we were doing around 11 o'clock yesterday, just going sideways with a slight downward slant. I had some buys that just came in that
Yeah,
pulled
it's a nice setup here. I mean, it's tempting, but at this point I would wait for the a clear 1, 2, 3 rather than going on a fractal. So if I can get that move, then perhaps
we don't have it. Here's the problem. We could be in one of these wave 4 type moves right now. So is this an ABC that we have at this point or what?
Well, again, I'm looking at this move as
3,
just a
4,
1, 2 here,
5,
3, 4, and we're in the 5th wave at this point here. So we're sweeping the lows, looking for a possible turnaround, but we could still come down one more time because that's the low here on this line. So we could still drop one more time. So I'm a bit leery of jumping in, even though it looks really good. It's
okay,
very
we
tempting.
got some more buys that came in.
Very tempting to
now
go
the
buy.
sells are coming in, so it's going to drop again. Gosh.
Yeah, it's a very tempting buy, but we could still fall one more time.
The reason why I'm saying be careful on it is that, on my CCI, I'm sitting right at the 0 line. So, that means it can flip-flop either way too easily.
Well, they're enticing everybody to go long at this point. So
yeah, well, that means
another fake.
Push it down. See, if this was wave C going up, you would expect it to break the last peak, but it's not even close to trying that now. So it just seems like it's going to continue a downward slide in what I would call wave 4 type motion.
S&P looks good. Like, they're turning it very nicely. Our structure is intact, so everything looks pretty good here. We've got a nice
we just had a nice move.
Got a nice sweep.
It's trying to go north, but
we need to take out this high.
We're getting more buys coming in, so it should be pushing it down quickly.
And a retrace. That would be, I think it's looking like maybe we could turn around without taking the lows, but we'll still care has to be taken here, though. So S&P is much higher up than the NAS, far away from these lows. So S&P looks like, yes, we could turn around. NASDAQ is closer to the lows, but it still looks like it could turn around as well. So I'm going to get rid of this guy and this guy.
Again, just turned positive for one, but we had that yesterday too at this point in time, and we had few GANs in the direction that we wanted it to move. Trying like heck to change the direction to an up. We have more going up now than going down at this point. So here it's given the college try to see if it can bring it to a positive situation.
I'd like to see them sweep the high here.
Oh, yeah, that would be a change of character.
Okay, so now I'd like to see them pull back into this now inverted gap. So far,
it's still pushing higher. Let's see who's going to win this battle right now. We've got some good strength to the upside at this point, but it's not. Let me see. Uh-oh, we're getting more sales coming in now.
That's what we want. We want a pullback now.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to be getting it, but
need a retrace here. See if we get one. Of course, now that if this is the bottom,
go up a little bit further before it starts to retrace.
Because if this is the bottom, then they might not retrace very much at all. We could just take off. So it's one of the problems about not jumping in when you think it's the bottom. So my fractal is looking good. But
this is the C wave, which could be ending soon, but it hasn't shown signs of ending yet. We've got 4 good up GANs.
Yeah, they might not pull back very much here.
Okay, we're now just beginning to show some indication that we might want to turn, but it's too early to say yes for sure. It's possible. Okay, what are you going to do now?
I need a retrace.
Yeah, well, that's what it's trying to do, but it's not convinced that it wants to do it yet.
You might not give anybody a retrace here, but we'll see.
Okay, we're getting a little bit more coming in now. We'll see in the next couple of candles what should happen.
50% would take us right back to the gap.
Now the buys are starting to come in, so the retrace is probably beginning. Nope, it just took it away. The buyers and sellers are slugging it out at this point.
It's our time.
It's hard. Oop.
Wow. They do not want to retrace very much here.
Well, they're still in a battle. Right now, the ups are on a slight winning streak, but could change quickly. Yeah, there's some more buys coming in, which could pull it down.
There's nothing, I don't think there's
Pretty good
anything
buy.
worse. That's one of the worst things when you think you're at a bottom and you don't pull the trigger on the fractal and you wait for the 1, 2, 3, and then you don't get the deep retrace that you're expecting. So this is this can happen.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so,
long Tesla
so Tesla set up a nice 1, 2, 3. They would take it.
on a 1 minute. Yeah, it looks like it's
Yeah.
gone down and now it's formed a 1, 2, 3 and going up. So
Yeah, so Tesla's pointing the way to this move. So very quick sweep. Another sweep at the top, and pull back. Another 1, 2, 3, looking good. Yeah. So I was looking for that kind of pullback on the NAS, but we're not getting it, unfortunately.
Well,
They're trying.
we could still get it, unfortunately.
They are trying. So just a little touch of this gap.
1 minute NAS is struggling trying to get above the 50 SMA.
So same thing on S&P. Need a little bit of a pullback here. They can take out any buyers in here and pull back into the gap and give us a nice entry here. Let's see if we get that. Looks like they might want to do it now.
I'm not convinced yet. It looks to me like it wants to go lower. Yeah, more buyers are coming in, so it's going lower.
Taking out that low here. So let's see if we can drop right down one more time.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to go down to break the GAN at this point.
That's where you can put a limit order on it at this point.
Sort of at an equilibrium point now. So.
A little bit more drop here.
I'm looking for 15 handles, more drop at least. There we should get some more.
Okay, so it's giving me a bullish engulfing. I'm going to jump in at this point. If they come down any further, I can always add to my position. So I'll jump in a little early, even though I'm a little high, but it doesn't mean that they have to come all the way into this gap. I'd like to see them drop into the gap, but they might not. So I'll go in early. We do have a regular gap here, so they've come into that one. And even though it's above the 50%, where I'm in premium a little bit here, so I'd like to see them come down a little further. So if they do, I'll add to my position here and see if we can get a good push out.
A lot of people are thinking that same way.
So interesting with Bitcoin, just real quick. If I go to the 30-minute, look at Bitcoin, they've taken out the lows. So we went right through that wick, right down, taking out all the lows. So opportunity here for a play back to the upside on Bitcoin is setting up as well. So on the 1 minute, could look for a similar type of setup here where we get a 1, 2, 3. So we'll get a nice push. So we see we didn't come back down into that gap that I was thinking that we could go below 50%. I mean, it's still possible.
GANs are still positive. I expected them to get broken, and it almost did it, but it not quite. But it's still tepid moves.
They can still come, but they can still come back down and take everybody out.
Yep.
This could be a ploy here. They could still drop it down, take everybody out, and then go. So if we get back above this high, we need to take a little bit off at that point, just in case. But if we go above this point, it looks pretty good that we wouldn't come back down and take that low. But again, they can do that if they want. So I'd like to see them take this high out. So this is and we had a classic 1, 2, 3 top here. Beautiful. And now we get a beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom here. So this is a very large 1, 2, 3 bottom in comparison to the 1, 2, 3 top. So that should push us quite a ways up, taking out these highs and so on. So getting a nice move there. So I'm going to take a partial, because just to take care of some of my losses from earlier.
It's probably a sterling idea.
Right, just as they cross. Okay, and then I can now I'll put my stop below the lows here. I wouldn't expect them to come back down and take me out, but if they do, I'll keep it close, but not too tight. There'll be a lot of stops below the lows here. So I don't want to put my stop down here, because if they're coming down to get you, they're going to come down and get you. So we've got a gap formed here now. So hopefully that will buoy us up. We'll continue pushing to the upside here. See how S&P did? S&P is doing the exact same thing. So I've got gap here, a regular gap in between. So looking for them to use that as support and push us to the upside here. Could have added some more to my position here, but I'll wait for a breach of the highs at this point. So that'll give me a new 1, 2, 3, and then I could look to enter again on another retrace. And so see if that occurs. I'd like to see them take this out with a closure above. That would be a very good sign that we are heading up. They're coming back in again. This is attempting to add to my position here, but my stop's a bit tight, so I could be in jeopardy doing that. But
Yeah,
let's just see.
be careful because it's getting ready to change the GAN. It's going to attempt to change the GAN to a down again. Touching it, but hasn't done it yet.
I'm in a very nice sweet spots position for a buy, but I'm very close to my stop.
Yeah.
So
no, it's going. Still trying to make more down moves at this point.
they might be going to take out this low. Could be in jeopardy here.
You're talking about the immediate low, yeah.
So they can sweep down, take it out, and then take off again. So I didn't want to put my stop below it just for that reason. So if we can stay above it, then that's a good sign. But if they go through, then yeah, they'll take these guys out. Because for them to move the market up, it's ideal for them to come down first and take everybody out and then go. So that's the usual ploy. So it looks like that's what they're going to do. So I'm going to keep my stop there. I'm not going to move it. It's just a small loss. I made nice profits. So it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to sweep down, take this low out. But they're very sneaky and they trap people who go long at this point here. So you can see they've taken me out. So more than likely now they'll take out the low here. So it's a very good ploy on their part to induce the buyers here. And they've probably induced a lot of buyers here as well. So if you buy here, then more than likely you're going to put your stop onto here. So they will likely take it. Be very surprised if they do not take this low.
Okay, we switched GANs to a down move. Let's see if it stays on that track. Because it's very tenuous at this point. Whoa.
So they're not taking that low at this point yet. Wow, interesting.
Yeah, somebody put on a 50 lot order and then it disappeared rather quickly. I don't know if they just took it off or some of it got sucked up.
Here's a bird I don't see in Canada at all, George. I'm not sure what kind of bird that is, but totally black.
Looks like a starling. I think it has a white eye.
Yes.
It's a sparrow.
Starling, eh?
Our starlings have a yellow bill that has a black bill.
This is down in the Caribbean there. So.
Look too small to be a grackle, which would have a black bill, and they have a longer tail to it.
What kind of camera do you take, Lennox?
At the time, I was using a Canon. To get that shot.
The tail could be long on that, so it could be a grackle.
Yeah, they have a long tail.
Yeah, okay. So it could be a grackle.
I have a better picture of it on the other screen, but yeah, I don't. The way the pictures come, they come at different intervals on each screen. So yeah, I might get another shot in a few minutes here. Okay, so they did not sweep the low, but they're kind of hanging around in here still. So yeah, I'm not gonna take any bait here. It's very tempting here to buy, but we're still essentially have equal lows now, so they could still come down one more time, take everybody out again. So
we have only
want to see them break that high.
Yeah, we have only 3 GANs up. It's trying to make this to 3 GANs down. It's trying to make it it just made it 1 GAN up. So the strength is still to the upside at this point. We should get some move up to challenge VWAP.
They're taking the high again, but they're not really closing above.
It's still game playing time.
It's a bit tenuous here still. Let's see what it looks like on the 5. Yeah,
it's not that
the
good.
tricky area at this moment in time, that's for sure. They could still drop it down one more time, that's still a possibility. Yeah. So they could be just enticing everybody to go long, and we could still see it drop through back down to the lows that we pointed out, back down into this gap. So that's still a possibility. So I'm not going to rule that out.
Yeah, the emphasis is to the upside at this point, but this is just so reminiscent of what we had yesterday. It's just slightly reversed in the direction where it was just before 11 too. But we hung in 11 till around 11:30 yesterday, didn't we?
Yes. Yes. So it's a bit snaky here. So any possibility that we could drop again. So now they've taken out the high.
Yeah.
Cleanly. All right. Let's see if they close.
Pop in with a 60. Oh, pop! Wow, we went from 60-40 to nothing on the sells. But we have a lot of buys coming in too. Now, it looks like they want to push it lower. The sells are coming in with some big numbers as we move closer to VWAP.
So is this just a fake out? So we've got a 1-2 here. This could just be a fake out move.
Yep.
That takes us right back down, taking everybody out. So that's a possibility. Otherwise, we're just going to do this and continue going up. So which one will it be? It's very tricky here at this point in time because we're still very close to the lows, and they could still take everybody out and come down and touch this low and go back up. So it's a very, very tricky area. You see how Tesla is doing. Tesla looks pretty good.
I'm long Tesla.
Still going nicely here on Tesla. The 5-minute looks.
Yeah,
so
they drove it down to take out all the stops, and then now we're on the way up.
Well, it's interesting here when they opened. We closed here. They opened here, so this puts us in this gap. And they came back down into the lower half of the gap and then turn it around with a nice one. It's a nice 1, 2, 3 that they turned it around. You can see it on the 5-minute here. And so now we would expect them to continue up to take out all these highs in here.
Yep.
So that would be a good, potential high up here as well is in jeopardy.
What's that level, price level, the Lennox?
Which one? Sorry.
The high you were talking right there. Yeah, there.
Yeah, that high, but the low hanging fruit is these equal highs right in here around the 365.89 area.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's a low hanging fruit, but they could stretch for the higher highs, but sometimes they don't take it out, right away. So you have to always be careful. So looking interesting there on. So again, S&P and NAS, a little bit of a struggle, could still drop one more time here. So I'm a bit skeptical about them moving up. Although they did give me some profits in there, it's still a possibility that they could drop it back down here. They've induced a lot of buying in this area now. So see if we get another pull back here. We did close above the high, so that's a good sign that yes, this could be a legitimate move. So can't rule that out. This guy over. So looking for a 50% takes us back here. So can we get a retrace, or are they just going to leave without us? So they could just take off now, or we get that retrace that we'd like to see to continue. So let's see what they do here. It's very, very tricky how they manipulate and play. So had I put my stop below the low here, I would be still in the position. But I thought maybe they would take the low first. So I put it a little tighter. So that's how I get taken out. So now that we've taken this high, we get a little bit, they just gave us a very tiny retrace here. So they could just take off now without coming back at all. And then that's how you missed the move.
They're just touching, they just got above VWAP for the first time.
There's nothing worse than waiting all this time to get to the bottom of things.
Yeah.
You wait for all this drop and you wait for that 1, 2, 3, and then you're not in it when it goes. That's the worst. But that happens.
This is not an algo go or parabolic go. This is moving.
So we're into a macro right now.
Move.
We're into the 1050 macro. Just started here. So since this looks like we're heading out without any retrace here at a gap. So I took advantage of Bitcoin in any case. I jumped into Bitcoin a little late, but right there catching a nice move to the upside. So I'm taking advantage of Bitcoin's move to see if I can get back up to the top. So Bitcoin, like I always say, is always saving me, always giving me profits. So I'll take Bitcoin. This might afford us one more opportunity to get in at this area, and then that's it. So don't really like jumping in the way up here, but I did it on Bitcoin, so I could do it on a NAS as well. Could jump in on a retrace here to continue. The S&P. S&P is looking even better for that retrace. They did touch. NASDAQ just touched, so that might have been it. Might be it. Let me see if I can. They'll come back in. No. But they didn't come back very much into it.
No, that's for sure. We're still positive though.
So it's Bitcoin that's giving me the nice ride here. And that's okay. I'll take Bitcoin, like I say, anytime. Yeah, you look for it, when we get these breaches of a previous high, we look for a deeper retrace and we don't get it. They just do a shallow retrace. They go again, another shallow retrace, and they just continue. So there's a lot of strength. They've got their quota. They didn't take everybody out here, which is unusual. You think that they would have done that and then taken off, but and that's just the way it is. So looks like the train has left the station and not coming back anytime soon here.
I don't know. It looks like getting some more activity.
Now it looks on the 5. So on the 5 minute, we've got a clean 1, 2, 3. And we're on our way. So next takeout would be here. At that point, we could get a retrace to continue up. So off the 5 minute. I'll mark the 5 minute high.
Getting closer to it.
But yeah, it's a nice move. Yeah, just again, unfortunate that stop placement here cost me this move. We're just kind of going sideways here now, Peter, giving you that pullback to continue here on Tesla.
Yeah, I expected to go higher.
There is a big 5 minute inverted gap. We could come back and touch that.
There's a double bottom there.
Yeah, you got equal lows all the way across, so it's likely they're going to come through. We'll continue. Okay, we're at 11 o'clock now.
Oh, yeah. Looks like it wants to try some southern movements without taking out that high. Let's see who's going to win this battle.
It's always tough to get on the train after it leaves the station. Our station is basically this area here. So this is where you want to get in your trade primarily. You can even at that point get in. Once they start leaving, you can still get in, but you know the train's moving, so it's easier for you to fall off and get killed under the wheels, as it were. So you have to be more careful when it's picked up speed and going. But it's still possible to, you know, you're kind of chasing price, as they say, but if you have a goal in mind for target and it's high up, which in this case, we could be looking for targets at this level, you know, that's still a long way to go up. So you have to look at it in that way. Yes, you can still get in on the train at this point to get up there. So nothing really wrong with getting in, but you have to be careful doing that, right? If you have a target in mind that's higher up, so if this was our target, then here, then I wouldn't be looking to get in at this point because it's not really worthwhile.
We got below
Okay, so they've come right back into the gap. So they're giving us a chance to get in here. So let's see if I can take advantage of that. I'll take a buy there, right in the midpoint of that gap. See if that will. Now, of course, I'll do that, and they'll come further down. But we've got an order block here as well. Let's see how that works. So again, you take a risk doing this.
It's into the order block right now on mine. We're below VWAP again.
So 50% takes us into the order block. So that's the. Hopefully that's as far as they go. I'm going to turn around and continue going.
You were right, Lennox. They dropped it a bit, but I still think we're going up.
On the Tesla.
1 minute they dropped it below that double bottom.
Yeah, so they, we've got all these equal lows here, so lots of stops under here, so they will take them out.
Yeah, they did that.
And then push back again. Yeah. I mean, it's even possible they could have come down even a little further here too, but so it doesn't look like they want to come back down here. So
No.
your stops are safe here at this point. So that's a typical fourth wave kind of move. And we should
Well,
continue.
on the NAS, we've went from -1 standard deviation to +1 standard deviation. And it's now reversing.
We won't feel good about this move until we take out the highs. It'll be a good move, and then another continuation like that. So Bitcoin is giving me.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It has not changed GAN to the downside yet, so it's still very much in the direction that you're looking for. Back above VWAP. Wow, we have changed to the downside.
And we don't want to take that low, so that will give us a nice 1, 2, 3 to continue going up. So if we take that low, that would be a little disconcerting. So we want to keep this low intact and continue pushing up. So that'll give us a nice 1, 2, 3 here to continue. It's a little deep. It's a very deep retrace. So I wonder if S&P is giving us divergence at that point or not. They look like they may want to take it, which would be not so good. So we can see how deep they came on S&P here.
Yeah, but my problem here is that I've reached the top of my 1 standard deviation, and I'm now would be logical to go down because I have a downward slope.
Yeah, they've taken out the low on S&P. Yeah, so it's a nice. They've taken the low on S&P, so we have to see if they took the low on the NAS. So that's the sweep here on S&P. Did they do it on the NAS, or do we get divergence? They've taken the low as well. Okay, so it's just a clean sweep of that low. So I'm going to add to my position at this point because I'm expecting us to continue going up. Looking for a fractal. Got it. Okay, so let's see if we continue going up here. It's a high risk area because of the fact that we're so high up from our initial move. But I would expect us to continue going up. But there are never any guarantees. But looking for them to turn and continue pushing up here. So I didn't expect them to take this low, but I can see why they did it because, structure-wise, yes, we could take that low. Certainly, they did. The structure is always, again, for me, the key is the structure. So if I can see the structure, then I kind of have an idea, so from this high to this low, they dropped it. So yes, you could expect them to take that low, but I was hoping they wouldn't take that low. Because I'm kind of thinking, okay, maybe the count is like this and they're done, but they trick you. They're very good at manipulating the charts to make it look in a certain way. They have you all befuddled, as it were. looking pretty good. This order block is holding us up at this point, so we should continue pushing up. So Bitcoin's doing a similar move. You can see that they just chopped it up in here. So it's the same structure, but in a different angle. They sweep out the lows. Now we should continue pushing to take out the highs. That would be the trajectory here. So looking to stay going up on Bitcoin.
Ooh, that's a nice.
Now I'm getting some nice profits here on the NAS. So I'd like to see them take out this high. If we can do that.
You're welcome, Armin. Have a good day.
Armin's leaving us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye, George.
Armin is leaving us. He's very quiet today. So I'm getting some nice profits there on NAS, so I'll take a partial at this point because we did cross that high. So that's a beautiful move. And Bitcoin is also doing a similar nice move, so I can also take partial on Bitcoin.
Tesla's on its way. Tesla's on its way back up.
But they both drop real quick, so it's good to take the quick partial at that point because you get that pullback.
What's interesting is we don't have a great deal of volatility at this point. But we're still in our downward cycle. So this could be a 1, 2, 3 top that we're looking at. On the
Better not be. So we don't want to see them take this low for sure now. That's not good. That would not be good. So that's quite a pullback. And it looks like they're taking it. Wow. Okay. So interesting. So you count it and you think, okay, my count's correct. You know, that's I'm done. We shouldn't be taking this low again. And they take it. So somehow your count's not correct. So it's more like this, and they're dropping it down one more time. So this just gives me another opportunity to buy in again if I really feel that we're going to still continue up. So you have to really reevaluate your analysis and see, am I being fooled into going long? And they really wanted to drop it down.
Well,
remember,
we have
I said
change of character now, Lennox.
yeah, it's possible that they still want to go and take out those lows down there. So there's no guarantee that all of a sudden this is going to just start taking off to the upside. So this is one of the hazards of playing in here. So I didn't put a stop in, and maybe that's what I should have done. Should have put a stop below this low because of that possibility. And I did not do that. So now I'm in drawdown. Okay, so where could I hide a stop here to be? Is there a safety? This is an order block here. So a low below that low. I'm right there to be taken out now. So there's equal lows right here. That's quite a ways down. I'm still looking for them to go back up, but it's a possibility that this is just a ploy to
We're in a down mode right
drop
now.
us down. Yeah. So I'll look for a pullback up first into this gap, and could exit at that point, just in case I'm being induced into going long when really they want to be going short still. So this gap here is in play. So it's as quickly as you can think you're going one way, it can change the other way if you're not careful about your analysis. So I've got looking at this in this way, I've got a 1-2, another 1-2, this move up, this drops. So I'm still expecting them to go up. You know, I wouldn't really expect them to be coming down, but you have to look at it from a higher time frame, because the higher time frame we've been coming down. So
Yeah.
it's still possible for them to take this low out down here, because we're still in a downward mode, right?
Right.
I don't think
Yes,
we've had a
we
change
are.
of character on the higher time. This would be our 5-minute change of character up here, and we can't get up there yet. So, you know, we haven't had a change of character on the 5-minute time frame. I mean, I guess we could consider this as a change of character there on the 5-minute, which would be okay to push us up again to this high. But we need to get above this high for us to be saying, yes, we're in a good move, possibly to go up. So this is a very crucial point where we're at right now.
Yes, it is.
A very touchy area here now. So I'm looking for a push back to the upside to go back into this gap and possibly through it. If we can get through the gap, then we're on our way back up. But if we can't, then we could come back down. So a very crucial point. Oh, we've got another little birdie here. Let's see what this guy is. There's a scraggly looking guy.
He's got a white chest.
Mm-hmm.
Is that brown or gray?
Kind of gray.
Do you have any pictures of monkeys?
I do.
Looks like
I got some there was a family or
it's the wrong
pride
one
or
for the
group or whatever
uniform.
they
It
call them
looks like a junco.
of howler monkeys that are captured in the bamboo grove. It was really cool. One of the highlights of the trip.
Yeah, when Christina lived in Ghana, she had a pet monkey. A long tail monkey.
It's cool.
A bunting, you say?
No,
Peter?
pet monkey.
Oh,
He's saying that Christina had a pet monkey. Okay, so we get a push back into the gap. So are they going to stall us out?
They're trying. Let's see if they succeed.
See, this could be the turn here now. So I need to put a stop in, because if I'm wrong, they're coming back down to take out we got equal lows now. So I could be taken out at the lows here. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and take the loss, because they're going to come through to take me out more than likely. And there's not much I can do about this. You know, if I just have to absorb a loss here, because it looks like they're going to come down, take out the lows and continue down, or so then continue up. They're not able to go through the gap. They didn't go much more than halfway. So yeah, I'm toast. And they're heading down. So that's just as quickly as it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's and again, it's still possible that this could go up, because they're just taking out the stops to do that. So it's tough.
But this was one of their ploys.
Oh yeah, big time. But it's tough, because I've got an order block here. You know, this could be a turning point to go back up here. So if it is, no problem. I get stopped out. I can always jump back in to go along if I see them taking out this high and going back up. So I always have to look at it in that way. So I'm never, yeah, as much as I hate losing, it's okay. You can always jump back in. I would never say it's okay to lose. That's not what I'm saying. It's just, it's part of the game, unfortunately. You're not going to win.
Right now they're playing with us, going some strong sideways movements.
Yeah, I hated to put the stop in, but I figure, okay, let me take the small loss here and see if we can get back in again. So I could be still right that we're heading up, but we're at a very precarious position. So it's a tough call here. They still have room to drop it, but we also have room to push to the upside as well. So a very, very tough situation here. So this in essence is a sweep of the lows. And so we're getting a sweep of the high. Okay, so putting my stop here might not have been the greatest thing, but I can always get, like I say, I can always get back in. So if they go through the gap, take out this high, then we have a fighting chance to get back in again to go long. So I look at it in that way. So I got about 8 more minutes before half past the hour, so we'll call it a day in 10 minutes here, 8 minutes. If that's okay with everyone?
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Martin, you're still with us.
Yes.
Did you fall asleep?
Yeah. No, not really.
I did
Still
a couple
too early
times.
here.
I fell asleep a couple times.
Okay. Rightly so. That's Trinidad again.
Sorry?
That was Trinidad again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is all Trinidad. Yeah. It was one of those butterflies. So I take pictures of everything, anything, so I'm always forever taking photos of stuff. You know that, Martin.
Nice. Yeah. And I met all that they are all in focus and
Sometimes.
even with your long lens.
Well, I come from the world of film. So when I did photography as a profession, as my vocation, it was film. And so with 36 rolls and 24 rolls and so forth, you had to make every shot count.
Yeah.
You only have 24 rolls, 24 shots on a roll, or 36. We try to squeeze out, an extra shot or two. But each shot you wanted to make sure that it was perfect, because film was expensive at those times as well.
I watched a show last night on Edward Land of Polaroid.
Mm-hmm.
What a fascinating story. He revolutionized the industry for a short while.
Yes.
Mhm.
I was watching last night an interesting show, a documentary on the Little Bighorn massacre there of Custer and his band.
Ah, yeah.
By Mr. What's that? The Dakota leader. What's his name? I should remember that.
What
The Indian chief, the leader for the Dakotas.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
Sitting Bull.
So yeah.
Sitting Bull. yeah, just really, really, really fascinating. The documentary was great. You learned, so I didn't know a lot of the stuff that occurred, and yeah, it was quite interesting. I love the documentaries. You learn so much that you don't really know.
Well, what
Okay.
channel is that, Lennox?
I'm not sure what channel that was, Peter. One of those National Geo or something like that.
Oh,
not sure.
National Geographic.
Could have been National Geo, but I'm not sure if that was what it was. But,
Yeah, I like that channel.
or A&E or something like that. But yeah, it was yeah, fascinating documentary. Yeah, you have a whole bunch of people coming into your land, just taking over and killing everybody. And, you gotta put up a stand. You gotta, yeah, it's tough. He was fighting for his people.
Did he win?
Well, you know the story of Custer and the massacre of Custer and his band and his group, because they came in. He was pretty brazen. He thought that he had, even though he was outnumbered, he thought that he could take them out, take all the tribes out. But he was wrong, and he made a big mistake by separating his troops into 3 groups. So they were easy pickings when they separated. That was his mistake. Quite interesting. All right, so they've gone.
It's better to make a mistake in trading.
Yeah. Yeah.
You live
Okay,
longer.
so you see what happened there to me. I take the loss because I'm thinking, okay, it's possibility that they could do this, but they don't. They turn back around, so that's fine. Now I'll look for them to take that high, come back in again, and give us an opportunity to continue going up. So let's see if we get an opportunity to get in. I'm inside a inverted gap here. So this could be a buy opportunity in here to continue going up. Got a border block down here. So yeah, this is very tricky stuff. They're very good. And again, like I said, overall, I'm looking at the structure as a move from this low to here, up, back in, and a continuation. That's what we would expect, and that's what's happening. So I really didn't want to do that with my stop, but I did that just to kind of show that possibility that they could take you out there, and they did. So, all right, so look to go back in again on a retrace of this move here. So they almost took that high. They didn't take it. So we didn't get a change of character yet. It looks like actually they did take it by a tick. That's all you need. So we got a change of character. So let's see if we get a retrace back into the gap here. And they might not now, right? Of course, because now that they've taken everybody out, they could say, hey, let's just go, we'll leave them all in the dust. But look for a retrace again to get back in to go. It's been a battle this morning here. Started off pretty good, but it's been a struggle. But I'm up. Bitcoin has saved me, so I'm up overall. So I've had
Tesla's on its way up.
good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 trades with 4 losses. So not bad. I'm ahead overall. So that's good. And Bitcoin's still doing okay for me. So we're getting that retrace. So I'll look to take an entry at this point now. Let's see if I can get a good entry here. I'm right in about the midpoint of that gap, of that inverted gap. So I'll take that trade at that point, right at the order block as well. And my stop would be below the order block. Stop about that area there. So is that safe? There really is no safe in this game, right? So yeah, it's a tough one. Always tough to say, yeah, you're safe with a stop. So most of the time I don't put this to you. That's what I mean. They're coming right down to hit my stop where I would have put it. So is it safe below this candle? Maybe, right? Would have thought that the order block candle would have been safe, but so I'll put my stop here. I'm probably going to be taken out at that point as well, and they would have taken me out there. So there is no safe. Look at how much they're dropping this. So was I correct that they were going to come back down and take everybody out, or are they going to turn around and go back up? So now they've come down so far, it doesn't look very good at all. So yeah, this is a little bit deeper retrace than I'm expecting. So we sweep, expecting that they would come in and turn around and go back up. They're taking out the lows again. Wow. So that's really devious move here on their part. Again, very nasty. This is wickedness. You know, they're using the wicks to take everybody out. So if we're going to continue up, I didn't put a stop in this time. So I'm in drawdown. So I could be in trouble because I'm wrong, right? By not putting a stop in. So this is an interesting one here. So why would they do that, what they're doing? Let me grab this. There's a gap here. Just hold us up, or are they coming even lower? See what S&P is doing. Same thing, they're looking to take out the low. Wow, that's amazing. So quite the drop here. So I have to re-evaluate because now it looks like they are going to take out those lows after all. So very, very, very astute play on their part. By them doing this, creating a 1, 2, 3 here, they're looking like they wanted to go back down and take out that low. So the only way to save myself now is to get a retrace of the current move and come back up and either get a small loss.
This is an aggressive move.
Yeah, so yeah, very aggressive. So very sneaky. They took out the high. It looked like we get a retrace to go, but they're making it into a 1, 2, 3 top instead, taking out the lows. So I need a retrace in order to get a smaller loss at this point to continue back down. So quite interesting, and you have to be able to move with them and flow with them and look at the different possibilities that can occur. So they're taking out this low, so I still have to look for a retrace here in order to save myself. So still not all loss, I can still get a retrace, and we'll see if that plays out. So
Lennox, what I'm seeing is if I look at my 5-minute chart, the down move that we have beginning at, let me give you a time frame, at 9:20, so right around 9:30 time, took me from the top 1 standard deviation all the way down slightly below the -1 standard deviation. And this upward move that we've been experiencing just went to the standard of the center of the 5-minute linear regression line, went down and back up, and it touched again the 5-minute standard regression line, and is now going back down to the -1 standard deviation. It looks like it at this point, if that makes sense.
Yes, I kind of follow you, and I understand what you're saying. Don't know if anybody else is, but yeah. So all I'm trying to do right now is just to get back to break even or a little bit or positive in here. So just need a retrace back up into this area. I'll exit my position because it is a possibility that we're going to do this move now. So we've swept and swept, and so now we're looking for a retrace back up into the above into premium here, and then a continuation to the downside. So very close to coming back to break even here. Let's see if we can get back to break even at least on that. So that you never panic out of position just because you go into drawdown. Sometimes you can exit from it with positive. So I just added to my position when I got down here to go back up. So looking to exit the full position once I get back into break even or positive here. I'd like to go into positive, of course, not break even. So how's our time? Okay, we're 37 minutes. Okay, another 3 more minutes. We'll call. Let's see if we can get one more push back up here. And I think we should. We should be going to take out the high here. And that would put us, if we get that move, put me back here, but we're not making it easy here. My expectation that we're going to go up into the gap might not come to fruition, even though I'm still holding out for that. But we've come back quite a bit here, so maybe that was it for them. So there are 2 gaps here, so that they could have just used the first gap and that's it. I was looking for them to come back above 50% on this move. That might be it for them at this point. Okay, we've got less than 1 minute left before 8:40 my time. So I'm going to call it in a minute here. So I'm looking to, again, exit up this level here. So we'll see if that occurs. Still holding out for that. But they can just start spiraling down, taking out these lows and continuing down without going back up. See how S&P looks. S&P's, they came back quite a bit here. So the chances of them coming back all the way up, back up here might be slim. So I might have to exit with a bigger loss than I was. But we'll see here. All right, on that note, I'm going to let it be for today, guys.
Thanks,
so
Lennox.
for those on YouTube.
Okay, take care now, Lennox.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
All right, thank you guys for dropping in. YouTubers, this is all for educational purposes only. So, trade at your own risk. We don't expect anybody to take our trades. You can see this is a dangerous game to play. All right, so thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. See you tomorrow. Okay,
We'll see you on the morrow. Take care.